Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm so happy you're here, and of course I hope you already have an amazing day so far. For everyone who is new here and sees me for the first time, welcome. My name is Yanni and I'm doing this DIY channel together with Diane. I will keep it short because down below I already have my DIY supplies and ready to make a new DIY. If you're new here and you're not subscribed to our channel, of course we hope you will click the red subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. It would help our channel a lot to grow. So enough talking and let's jump into it. And like I told you, the DIY supplies are here down below. So I'm going to take you down. You see already on my table, I have my DIY supplies. Some tumbling tile blocks we need. You can use some furniture wax to give it a rustic look. Some fall figurines. I have some pumpkins. I have some leaves, some little squirrels, and of course some paint. I have the orange and the green and my black schoolboard paint, some scissors, some brushes, a pencil, and a little box we can paint in. Of course, our twine, because what we're going to make is a fall garland, but with a twist. So I hope this will turn out right. I hope you join me. So the first thing what we're going to do is, of course, we are going to color our beads, and I have two little bags of beads, and I'm going to do them in the darker orange color and in the green color, but you can choose any color you like. Do whatever you think is right. It's fine also. I did this garland also with a twist on my other channel, my All About Christmas channel. You will find the links down below in our description box, and I made one for the Christmas season. I did the white and the red beads, so if you want to see that also, you're fine to look at. I'm going to take a little container and I'm going to do my little bag of beads inside. I think there are 30 beads, so I'm just doing it easy. You can paint them if you like, step of each by each other, but I always keep myself easy, and I'm just going to do some paint in here and just do some like this. And I'm going to, you already see the mistakes also are going, and I'm just going to turn them over and turn them over until they all are in the orange color. It looks a little bit strange, but believe me, it works really really well, and especially for people like me who are don't have too much patience. So just do whatever you think is right, and I am always loving this way because it's going fast and fast. So I'm going to do this and I'm going to stretch them out on my placemat and let them dry. And I'm going to do, like I said, first the orange one and then the green one. And you see already how easy is it. They are all already in the orange color, and I'm ready to spread out on my table and let this dry. So you see, I did spread them out. They give a little bit, because you mingle them together, it gives a little bit more of a rustic look. They're not totally in the orange color, a little bit yeah, distressed. I think it's a little bit more, so that's why I like it, because I like a little bit of distressing. I'm going to get my second beads, and I'm going to do this also inside of here. Oh, you see already they're already going away because they don't want to do what I want. I'm so sorry. I'm going to do, this is already bag number 2, and we're going to repeat the same. Just do a little bit of green inside, and I'm going to do the same procedure that I did earlier, like this. Just very easy, just go over them. And this green looks a little bit strange, but when they dry up very nicely. So I'm going to work with this again, and then I show you how they are looking like on my table. So you see, they are drying right now on my table, and now we're going to go further with our Jenga blocks. I'm going to make my tumbling tile blocks. I would do in the black color, but first we have to make a little holes inside of our tumbling tile blocks. So I think I'm going for the safe side, and I take 40 blocks. I'm going to drill some little holes inside. So I'm going to do 10 each time, and I just get my ruler, just do them halfway, get your pencil and just make a little light line with your pencil over here. So you have on on your block on halfway a little measurement so you are sure where you want to have your little hole in the middle. So I'm going to make 40 blocks with a little hole inside. And of course we call it a boormachine, where we make our little holes with, but I think you call it just a drill if I'm correctly, but we call it boormachine. So it's a little bit more difficult word than you use. So I'm going to make 40 of this one, and also we can later use them for another DIY. And you see already I have my blocks with the little hole inside. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my black schoolboy paint and I'm going to give them a black color. Of course, you see already I have my gloves on because black is always very hard to get off. So we are going to go and we're going to make all the blocks in the black color. Of course, it's a little bit of your time. But of course, at the end, we hope it will look very nice. So I'm going to do this. I'm not going to do it in front of camera, so don't worry. don't walk away. I just do it behind the camera. So in a moment, you see all the blocks. And you see already, I am almost done with my blocks in the black color. Of course, like I said, it is a little bit of a task, but I use for this time the smaller blocks like you buy on the, most of you with the Dollar Tree. They are, I think, $1.25 each if I am correctly, but of course I have to order the smaller ones online, so I'm having difficulties finding the smaller ones, and you have more difficulties, a lot of you have more difficulties to find the bigger ones, and I can find the bigger ones over here. If you are looking for the bigger ones, most of the time Amazon has them, and also AliExpress, so you have to look for it. And I know if there are a lot of stores, if you are going to, because it is a game, it's not really the blocks, but you are looking for the game Jenga blocks, maybe you can find them also the bigger blocks. So I hope you will find them, but this time we use the smaller blocks. So our blocks are drying. Of course, our beads are also almost dried up. I'm going to take two Jenga blocks, and I totally forgot to paint them. I'm going to paint two of them also in the black color. So very easy, just take a little bit of your schoolboy paint and give them a black color, because we are going to need them for the ending of our garland. I'm going to use them as a little bit kind of a stand. So I'm going to paint them in totally, and then we're going to do the next. So my two little blocks are drying right now, and I'm going to take my figurines for the fall, and I have here some squirrels. I'm going to take two of them, and I'm going to take two of the other ones. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut off the twine like this, and of course with this one the same, and I'm going to do it this two also the same, and again with this one. And you can choose any figurine you like, of course. I'm going to place them on top of each other like this, and I'm just going to do some wood glue in between, so like this, and I'm going to place them over here and make sure that we get one straight squirrel like this, and we're going to let this dry in, and I'm squeezing it down, and let's go make sure that you have it straight and really on top of each other, and take your time for it. And I'm going to do for this one the same, again some wood glue, because I want to be sure that he doesn't fall apart, and I'm going to place this one on top, and again squeeze it, press it down, and make a straight line, and we're going to let this dry. Both of our squirrels are almost dried. What I'm going to do, I'm going to paint one in the green color, the same like we did the beads, and one in the orange color. So very easy, just take a little bit of the orange and just give it a nice, a little distressed look. So very easy, just go over it and make sure that you still can see a little bit through, and like maybe you already have the same color than your squirrel is, or maybe what figurine you use, but I have to paint it because I want to have the color the same. So I take a little bit my time for it to make sure that it looks very nice. My little squirrels are almost dried. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take one of my blocks and I'm going to lay it down like this. I'm going to turn my squirrel over and I'm going to try make a thin line with my wood glue. Of course, I hope that this will works. And I'm going to place it in the middle of our tumbling tile blocks like this, and I'm going to squeeze it a little and just let it stand on its own, and I hope that this will dry up very nicely. And of course I'm going to do on this one the same. Make sure that you have a small line with your wood glue, and I'm going to place it again in between the block. I'm going to place it in the middle and I'm going to squeeze it, and I'm going to wait until it is dried up. So I was still debating what I'm going to do in between my garland. Of course, I do the beads orange, green, and I think I'm going to have also a little baggage with some white beads. So if you want to use the white also, then you have to make also a couple of the beads in the white color, because I think it lightens up a little bit more. What I was thinking, because I want to have in between, I still want to have something from wood, and I'm going to use this wooden leaves, but you see already they are not in the color that I like. So I'm going to get all of them out. These are 6 pieces, and I'm going to do one in the white, one in the green, and one in the orange, and I'm going to do with this one the same. So I'm going to paint this one also, and of course you can choose any color you like. And if you have different kind of figurines, like I told you earlier, do whatever you think it's right. I'm going to paint all 3 of them. And you see already on my table, the beads are dried in, and of course our tumbling tile blocks, our leaves, and our little squirt for the ending. You see, if you look correctly, the beads are a little bit distressed, and on some places it's a little bit more paint, a little bit less, so it gives a little structure on your beads. So if you like that, then the way I do it with just stirring it around in a little container. But if you don't like that and you like a little bit more of a smooth bead, then you have to paint them all separately. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take my twine, and of course I can get a needle and do one string of twine in between, but I'm going for 2. I don't have, because the beads are, the little holes are very small. So, and I want to have 2 pieces of twine through it. So I'm going to make my own needle. I'm just going to take the twine I need and I double it up like this. And you see here, now I have a nice ending and I can double it up. I take a piece of wire. I think you all have this laying around, just a little piece of wire, just cutting it off like this, and I'm going to make a kind of a needle, and I'm going to make a loop out of it. I'm going to place it through, so you have it this way, very easy. You just have, and now you double up your wire also and just bend it and squeeze it flat and turn it around a couple of times like this. And now I'm going to cut off a little piece, and I'm going to cut this off like this, and I'm going to lay this aside. Be careful that it don't fall on your ground, because it does hurt if you are stepping into it. I had one little piece which was falling down, and yes, of course I had it. And you don't like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with the black tumbling tile block. I'm going to go 1, and then I'm going to go for 2 orange, and then 2 whites, and then 2 greens, and later I'm going to change it up, of course. This is already 1, I have to, and you see already how well this works as a needle. And you can easily come through the little holes of the beads, because sometimes they are so very small you don't even get access to it. So, and of course you can make them wider with a tool, but I don't like that. So, and now we're going to go for a black block, and this is already one piece of it. Now I'm going to go further, but I'm not going to start with the orange. I'm going to start with 2 of the white, and then we're going to do 2 green. And you see already this little bead is totally closed, so I have to get my scissors, and I'm just going to make a little hole, and I'm going to get my wire in between, and you see he is already coming through. I'm going to go for 2 green. This is 1, and of course, don't worry, I'm not going to do this whole garland together with you, because a lot of you don't like to see everything, so at least not so so slow, like this. And I'm going to go again for a black block, and like this. And you see, now you already have a change of pattern. And now I'm going to go, not start with the white, I'm going to start with the green. And I'm going to do only these 3 pieces together with you. And then I'm going to change it up again, and I'm start from front again with the same, with orange, white and green. And now I'm going to start with orange. So also orange is in the middle. And I think you already know what I'm going to do, because if you are, imagine we have the little leaves in the white, the green and the orange, and I'm going to place them in between this piece. So, and all the leaves can have a different kind of color. I don't know if I make sense, but I show it to you in a moment. So don't worry, because I have to think in in Dutch and explain it in English. So sometimes it's a little disconnection in my in my head. So don't worry. For the rest, everything is fine. You see, this is the first piece, and now I'm going to make a second one the same like this one. You see, I have my garland finished, and I did 3 sections more than I used to, because I thought it was a little bit too small, how you say that? That's not big, but not small. The length was not really the size I needed. I think that's a better word. I'm going to get out my piece of wire, so I'm going to get this off, and I'm going to lay this aside, and I'm going to cut off a little piece of my ending. I like this because we still need a piece of the twine on the ending, and we're going to do on the other side the same. And I'm going to cut off this piece because we need it for some tassels. So again, we're going to lay this aside. This is how our garland is already looking like. And now I'm going to make some tassels together with you. You can use a piece of cardboard for it, or something else which is wider. I'm just going to use my hands always and just go over it a couple of times. I think I want to have my tassels, but of course everyone does it his own way, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to get it off like this, and I'm going to get one ending of my garland. And you see we have two pieces. I'm going to go for one in here, and I'm going to go to the ending over here. I'm going to cut off my ribbon of my twine, and I'm going to get this side, and I'm going to make a knot on this, and make sure that you have it quite steady like this. And I'm going to do another one, because we want to make sure that he stays in place like this. So, and now you already have your own piece of tassel. And of course, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this one out and this one. And I'm going to cut off this piece, and I'm going to open up because this one is still closed. And you can do it one by one, you can do it a little bit in sections, but my scissor is not that big, so I'm going to go for, you see, now we already have one piece of the tassel. I'm going to pull this down like this, and we still have our two pieces of our garland. What I'm going to do, I'm going to lay down one of them over here and make them the same size like I have my tassel, like this. So one is already over here, the other one I'm going to use, and I'm going to do my glue gun already on. So if you have your glue gun, also finish it. I'm going to go a little bit down, and I'm going to make loops very tightly over it like this, and I'm going to squeeze it and press it, and this way, and I'm going to do some glue over here, and I'm going to glue it on top. Make sure that you have your twine in between like this, and I let this dry for a couple of seconds. And then your tassel is already finished. You see, now you have already your own little tassel on the underside. And you see already, I still didn't open all of them because here's still another one. And you can cut them at the size you want to have him. So I'm really happy with this one, and I'm going to do, of course, for the other one the same. And you see, I turned over my garland, and I'm going to get the same. For everyone who thinks this is boring, just skip forward. Of course, I hope you don't and you'd like what you see. I'm going to go again. Very easy, just do a couple of turns, just as much as you like it to be, because we like a little bit of a thicker tassel. So again, we are going to, I think you can a couple of turns more, like this. I'm going to get it off, like this. And I'm going to open up the endings of our garland, and I'm going to do it in between. It's very easy. You see it, you just do it in here. Sometimes I'm so frustrated when I don't get to do it and tell you the way I have it in my head. Sometimes, oh my. But of course, I hope when you see it, it still is better than I speak it. Of course, I know a lot of you don't mind, but I mind. But it's frustrating sometimes. So you see, now I'm going to get a knot on here, and I'm going to open up all our endings. Just squeeze it this way, and I'm going to open it up. And so this way you can make such a nice and easy tassels. And you do again one of the endings you lay over here, so you have the same size, cut it off like this, and now you make a nice straight line again. Oh, you see already I have again another one, and I'm going to use this one as our rounding, and again squeeze it. I'm going to do a little piece down, and then I'm going to make sure that I am going to squeeze it when I'm going to make my turns like this. And I'm going to do some glue again on here. You see already my glue gun is already going for me before I'm going to work with it. So, and again, lay it down over here and make sure that it stays in place, and don't burn yourself, because that's not very nice. And this is already again another one, and I have to cut off this one. And you already have a nice tassel also on this side of your garland. And how easy is this? So, and now we're going to go further with the leaves. So I have here my leaves in 3 colors. I don't know if I'm going to use all of them, because I did a couple of sections extra, 3. So I have 9 sections like this. So I have 6 leaves. So I'm going to use, I think, 5. I'm going to do 1 on here, a leaf open, 1 on here, leaf open, and 1 on here, and so go on until the end. So I'm going to start with the white, and you see already there's a little knot on top, and I'm going to try to get it out so I can still use this piece of twine, because this is a little bit of the thinner twine, and I always using the bigger one, so I don't have the smaller ones laying around. So I'm going to try to get this open, and I can use it again, and because it's a nice twine and it's totally fitting with my garland. You see, you can get it easily open, and I'm going to do it in between the orange one. So very easy, just go and do a knot on top and in between like this, and I'm going to go again and turn it over and do another knot on top. And you see, now he's already inside, and of course I'm going to cut off the endings of the twine like this, and I'm going to leave this one open, and I'm going to do the next one in the green, and I'm going to try to get this open again, but I won't bore you with that. I will finish this one off, and then we're going to go further with our squirrels. I am sorry, I thought I had my camera on, but I didn't. I took my gold marker and I did my squirrels, and I gave them a little eye with the gold marker, and I'm going to write on top of here, fall. Very easy and very simple. If you are just a great drawer, just do maybe other words or something else, it doesn't matter. But I'm not decorating things. I'm already happy that I can place this one. So like fall, and I'm here fall. So now I'm going to go a little piece of twine through the little hole, and we are going to attach it to our tassels. So for my squirrel, I used a piece of the thicker twine, and I just took it open, because in the twine is always a couple of threads. So I'm going to do one of them, and he is fitting, if everything is correctly, he will be fitting through the little hole. So we will see if this is correctly. So, and I hope I get it through, and or else I will stop the camera until I have it through. I hope you have better luck with your little opening. So I'm going to get it, and you see it is already in here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to place this one next to each other, and I'm going to make a little knot over here. There's already one. Like this, and I'm going to measure out a little bit where I want to have it, and I'm going to make another knot on top, a little bit above the other one, and pull it through, and again I'm going to measure out where I want to have it. I think I'm going to want to have it a little bit lower like this, and now I'm going to get my piece, and I'm going to make a knot on the top over here, just under the black block. I'm going to make a knot. I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to do 2 times like this. This is 1, and a number 2 to make sure that everything is really steady. And I'm going to cut the endings off, and like this. I'm going to cut it off. And now we already have our squirrel already on the ending, but of course he's not hanging the way I want to have him. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to work my way in front, and you see already I'm laying it over here. What I'm going to do, I show it to you this way. I have it laying over the middle piece, and I have here also a piece of my bigger twine again. I'm going to use my glue gun, and I'm going to do some glue on here, and I'm going to lay my thicker piece in here, because I like that the finishing off is very nice, because I don't like it if it's not very nice to see. So I'm going to wait until this is dry, and we're going to do a couple of turns over it to make sure that the thread of our squirrel is nicely worked away, and I'm going to go to the back side and I'm going to do some glue, and I'm going to place, of course, this in between and keep it in place for a couple of seconds until your glue is dried up. And then he is hanging very nicely under your piece, and you get a nice finishing touch. You see, he's hanging very nicely next to your tassels. I will do the other side, and in a moment you see the ending of the quick impression. I know you would, I told you you would see the quick impression of how I decorated in my home, our garland, but I was thinking I have still some leftovers of my beads, and I'm still thinking, I was seeing this little birdhouse and I was thinking maybe I can also make little garland, of course, also with this little birdhouse. So this one is going a little bit faster, but I thought he was so cute, and he was only 79 cents. So I think maybe I can, with the leftovers of my beads and of course my tumbling towel blocks, I can make also a little garland with a little birdhouse on the ending. So I'm going to make this. First we're going to do it, because we're going to do it a little bit faster than we just did. I'm going to take my white paint and I'm going to paint my birdhouse in the white color, because I like this one in the white. But you can choose any color you like, and this birdhouse you can find anywhere. So of course I'm going to get my twine over here and I'm going to paint this, and of course I will do it a little bit faster. So the little birdhouse is drying, and again I'm going to get my twine. I'm going to double up again, the same like we did earlier. Very easy, just taking a piece of my wire. I'm going to cut it off like this, and I'm going to make a needle out of it again, and I'm going to place it through and double it up like we did with the fall garland, and again turn it on like this and cut off a little piece, a little over here, and I'm going to have my needle already finished. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my black blocks, of course a couple of them, and I'm going to go for the red beads, and I'm going for my green and white. And white I don't have too much, so I'm going to make my design a little bit different. Normally I would use a little more of the white, but I don't have a lot of white. You see already this big mess on my table, so I'm going to start again with the black one. And very easy. I'm going to go for 2 of the red, and I like the bright red color. 2 of them. I'm going for 1 white, and I'm going for 2 green, and I'm going to go again for the black one, like this. And you see, now you get also a nice pattern. I'm really happy how this is looking like. I'm going to make my way. I think I'm going to go for 5 pieces, because I don't want this garland to be this big, but we will see. And you see, my garland is finished. I have a piece over here and I have my piece over here. Of course, I'm going to get away my piece of twine. I'm just going to cut off this piece, and make sure that you also have your needle. Don't lose it somewhere because you don't want that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a tassel again for one side already. So very easy. Take them in your hand again, like this, and just do your turns what you need. We're going to do it in a fast train. Maybe a lot of people already like it better than this way. So, and I'm going to cut off like this, and I'm going to open up the ending of our thing. I'm going to do one of the pieces of the twine in between, going to go over here, and we're going to make a nice knot on the top. Just squeeze it and make sure that we have it on the top. I have to look for where I have my knot, because you see already he is coming over here, and I'm going to squeeze it again like this. Make sure that it is very steady. I'm going to place this one over here, and I'm going to leave one here, and I'm going to do the other one with this one together down like this. I'm going to cut it off, and this is one. I'm going to cut all the pieces open, just like we did with the fall garland, and I'm going to go, and I hope I have all of them open. I think I have, no, not all of them, at least over here. And I'm going to have again still my one over here. I'm going to put my garland of my glue gun on. Or if you want to do it fast, it's always a task to talk. So I have here my twine. I double it up like this, very easy. And I'm going to make sure that I have it a little bit down. And I'm going to work my way around my tassel like this. And squeeze it and make it very tight. And the ending, we are doing some glue on here, at least if my glue gun is working with me. And I'm going to lay down my twine again in between and let this dry in for a couple of seconds. And then you already have your own tassel again on the underside, and it is so easy. You see already I still don't have all of them like this. So this is already one. Now we go to the other side. Of course, I'm going to make for this side with the birdhouse. I'm also going to make a tassel, the same like we did with the other one. And of course, I will do this a little bit faster, so don't worry, you don't have to see it all. And you see also this tassel is finished. I get my birdhouse and I did a little other piece of twine over here. It's very easy. You just take the loop, you just place your twine in between, and you just pull it from the inside through the roof, and then you have your own new twine in here, because I like this twine a little bit thicker and I like that better. I'm going to make a knot also, the same like we did with the squirrels. I'm going to do one over here to make sure that he stays this way. I'm going to measure it out, and I'm going to do also a little knot over here, again the same like we did earlier, and this way. And now I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to place again over here, and I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to make a nice knot on this side. Very easy over here, and again another one, and like this. And I'm going to cut it off, and this is both of them. And now I'm going to go and place the little birdhouse in front like this. And I think I'm going to leave this one loose so he can move around. So for me, he is finished, but you can change it up any way you like. And how easy is this kind of garland to make? And I was looking on Pinterest, and they showed me one from the Etsy, Etsy.com, and they were $20. And this one, the beads were only 60 cents, a little net with beads, and you just have to little bit of paint and some tumbling tile blocks and maybe a little house, and maybe for €2.5 or dollars, it's a little bit the same. You already have your own garland instead of $20, and that's a lot more money and you can make a lot more garlands for in your whole home. So in a moment you really see the quick impression. I hope this didn't take too long for you. And here you see a quick impression of my tumbling tile blocks beaded garland, and I'm so happy how it turned out. Of course, for the fall season I like always a little bit of the darker orange, a little bit of the green and the neutral colors, but of course you can go any way you like because this is just an inspiration. Of course, I hope you took out your tumbling tile blocks too, and you also have right now your beaded garland for in your own home and with the colors you like. If you want to see also the, like I said earlier, the Christmas impression, come on over to the description box. There you find the link for our DIY channel. So I hope to see you there. Of course, for everyone, have an amazing day and I hope to see you next time. Bye. Yes, yes, I know. I said already goodbye until the next time. But of course, I'm just popping in also to show you how the beaded garland looks like with a little birdhouse on it. And I'm so happy how this one also turned out. And now I'm really going. See you next time. Bye.